name is Claire Longo. I have a few roles at Comet. I'm leading customer success. I'm also an AI researcher. It's a startup. You guys probably know how that goes. But today I'm going to be walking you through another coding challenge, and we also have swag. The tool that I'm going to be showing you is called Opik. It is one of the main features within Comet, and it's completely open source and free. Essentially what it does is it's an end-to-end model evaluation platform for AI developers and data scientists, and allow you to trace all the kind of inputs and outputs of your LM applications, kind of letting you look under the hood, understand what your AI agent is actually doing, as well as calculate some LM eval metrics. So because we are... All right. Because we're all developers here, I'm going to start with code, and I'm not going to do death by PowerPoint. So I'm just going to show you guys what I built. And this is the same coding challenge that you guys will have access to. All these instructions to complete it are in this notebook. And if you're able to just run this and log a trace to Opik, I'll give you one of those stuffed owls. His name is Ollie, and he's our mascot. So that will be the swag. But let me walk you through this. So essentially what I did is I put together a RAG. Who here is familiar with RAGs? Amazing. If you're not familiar, you're going to walk out of here being able to build one. So we'll get you going. Cool. So I put together a RAG system that is really just chatting with some basic documents, but I thought it was kind of a good starting place because you could take this further with the hackathon to really apply it to the theme here and maybe chat with like resources or helpful documentation that could help people navigate the fires. So this is just kind of example code, but I'll get you going. So essentially what I did is, I can't take credit for this, Adam helped me use Weaviate. So I was able to embed all the documents, put them in a vector database, and we're going to retrieve them in the RAG system. So that's what you're seeing there. And then with Opik and OpenAI API, I'm putting together a very simple RAG. So what the RAG is doing is it's retrieving relevant information from the vector database related to the user's query. So the user could be asking anything, and it will retrieve the most relevant context and then return a response. In this case, I just have a very basic retrieval. And you'll notice the only thing I have to do to integrate Opik is this. We have automatic integrations with most like API, LLM API providers like OpenAI. And so all I have to do is just a few lines of code here that will automatically scoop up all the data I need and send it to the UI, which I'll show you after the code. So that's my retriever. And then I have a very simple prompt here. And then you'll return a response. So what this actually does is you can ask, it's a vector database of like popular books. And so you can ask what type of books you're looking for. That's the prompt here. And then you tell it what you're looking for. I just said running, think about different sports, and it'll give you a list. So this is really, really simple. You guys could probably get this up and running within 10 minutes. But I'll show you the cool part. After I run that code, hopping over into Opik here, I can see the trace. So this is all the data that was run through my RAG, and you can see all the different steps. There's that retrieval step, so that was a specific function that's doing the retrieval. And then there's another specific function that's doing that call to OpenAI. And if this thing does break in production, I want to know exactly where it broke and what went wrong, or if like costs start going off the rails or something like that. So what this is really doing is it's helping you really pinpoint exactly what your system is doing. And I think it's very important. It's kind of like experimental phase of AI for us to really be able to look under the hood and debug these things in real time. When I click into these, I can actually see the inputs and outputs at each step. So you can see my query here. I'm asking for books about running. It returns these kind of titles here. This is a really simplified example, but you can probably imagine if your LLM is starting to do something weird like hallucinate, you might want to see what data was retrieved to cause that kind of issue. And then in my call to OpenAI, it tracks inputs and outputs. You can see the prompt that was used. You can version your prompts in here, all that good stuff. And then also all the metadata about the model. So if you're trying to like experiment, maybe compare different models, that's all very helpful there. So that's the tracing, but you might ask yourself, how do I actually measure these things and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to? That's actually a really difficult question within kind of the space of Gen AI is how do you really get performance-related metrics that tell me overall, how is my system doing? Is it hallucinating? Is it going off the rails? Things like that. So we do have like a full set of metrics that are kind of out of the box, but you can also create custom ones. And that's all within the UI here. So we have, I'll show you an example with hallucination. So this is a metric you can create. And then when you run your code back in the notebook, you'll see the metrics tracked. So if you do want to take the challenge a step further here, beyond just logging the traces, you can create your own eval metrics here. So to wrap things up, we will share the coding challenge. Like I said, it probably takes about 10 minutes to run. I hope the hardest part is just getting the API key for it. But we'd love to get you all started using Opik and building some simple rags. And if you want to take this a step further, add your own data into this, it's a really great template to get going. Thank you very much.